Okay. So this part of the conversation, Allah has calmed Musa alayhi salam down. Is that clear? He's calmed him down. Musa alayhi salam realizes he's about to talk to Allah. Not many people can say that. Not many people can say, I got to talk to Allah. So when you get to talk to somebody important, would you like the conversation to last longer or short? You'd like it to stay longer. You wouldn't want the connection to be lost. You know, you want to prolong the conversation. So what does he say? He says, هَذِهِ عَصَايَ. This is my staff. By the way, staff in English is not the people you hire. It's the old English, right? Staff is the big stick that you carry. And we don't use the word cane because canes are signs of weakness, but staffs are symbols of strength. It takes a strong person to hold a staff. And when somebody holds a cane, it's a symbol that they are now weak. They lean on that and they need that to recline. And that's the primary purpose of a cane. But this is a staff. It's a large stick. هذه عصايا. What was the question? What was the question, guys? What's in your right hand? What's the answer? This is my staff. Question is done, answer is done. Musa alayhi salam doesn't stop. He says, هذه عصايا أتوكأ عليها. I lean on it sometimes. Did Allah ask, what do you do with it? Allah didn't ask. Allah Azza wa Jal did not. All Allah asked was one thing, which was what? What is it? And he said, this is my staff. I lean on it. وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِي. And I beat on bushes with it so that my sheep can eat. But you know it's a stick. How many things are you going to come up with? Right? So he runs out of things to say. But he wants the conversation to go on, alayhi salam, because he's getting to talk to Allah. So he, exhausting his imagination, says, وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. And I've got some other things I can do with it too. It's amazing. It's amazing that he says that. Because what's he trying to do? Keep it going. And it shows you his nervousness, alayhi salam. And Allah says, قَالَ, very softly Allah Azza wa Jal says, قَالَ أَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. Throw it, Musa. Now what's the harsh way of saying it? Ya Musa, ألقِها. But Allah says, ألقِها ya Musa. Throw it, Musa. Just throw it. He throws it. فَأَلْقَاهَا. Now here we don't say فَلَمَّا أَلْقَاهَا. We say just فَأَلْقَاهَا. When he climbed the mountain, we read the word فَلَمَّا أَتَاهَا. It took him time to get to the mountain. It took an effort. But when Allah commanded him to throw, did it take him any time? No, he just immediately, yes sir, yes Allah, threw it. He throws the staff immediately. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. Then immediately it turns into a python moving around. And by the way, it didn't just turn into a snake, tas'a, it's running around. Now imagine, you were just calm, you were nervous, and Allah very softly told you, throw the stick, Musa. And the moment he throws it, what happens? It's a gigantic python, and what is it doing? Running around. You're calm anymore? No. All that calm is gone. All that calm is gone. He's at this point, he must have been terrified. He really, it's a human reaction to be terrified. Snakes already have a very terrifying appearance. Even the appearance of a snake is horrific, right? And then on top of that, the thing is running around and it's massive. And it just came out of nowhere, and that was his staff. Now at this point, what does Allah tell him? Look at the words. قَالَ خُذْهَا. Grab it. Grab it? وَلَا تَخَافْ. And don't be afraid. Grab it, don't be afraid. You know what I was going to say? If I was in that situation and was telling my kid to grab something, don't be afraid, grab it. That's what I would say. Don't be afraid, grab it. What did Allah say? Grab it, don't be afraid. Amazing. It's amazing. Because Allah is expecting obedience first. Obedience first. And then courage. Of obedience is in what part of the ayah? Grab it. Khudha. Where's courage in the ayah? La takhaf, don't be afraid. And then there's the third part of the ayah, سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيرَةَ الْأُخْرَى. سِيرَةَ الْأُولَى. We will return it back to its original state. 3 parts in one ayah, 3 parts of this commandment. And this is where I'll end this story, even though the story is much longer and so beautiful. It's amazing. You got to read it on your own though. Enjoy the story. It's how Allah tells a narrative is incredible. Every little detail just takes you into a world. You know when Sheikh Yasser was describing qassa yaqussu, to follow behind, it literally Allah takes you to the scene. He just literally takes you there. You and I are at the mountain at this point. You know, when we're listening to this story. Now the thing is, just in this grabbing the staff, grabbing the snake, not being afraid, and then Allah says we will return it to its original state, meaning what? It'll become a staff again. So now imagine a snake is running around and you're being told the moment you grab it, it'll be a stick, don't worry. The moment you grab it, and you need to do that immediately, there shouldn't be any time lapse between Allah's command and you obeying, because when Allah says we obey, there's no gap in between. So grab it immediately and know, and first of all, you need to be courageous after that when you grab it, and know for sure the moment you do, it's not going to turn back and bite you. What's it going to turn into? A stick. Is that an easy thing or no? Does that take an amazing amount of trust of Allah? 3 things. Obey, grab it is obey. The second thing was courage. And the third thing is what? Trust. Trust me, it'll be a stick. Just trust me. 3 things. The 3 things Musa alayhi salam will need when he goes to talk to Fir'aun. He will need to obey Allah. He'll need to obey Allah. And he'll need to go back into Egypt. And when he goes into Egypt out of obedience to Allah, the closer he gets, the more what? The scarier things will become. The scarier, because the authorities are looking for him. It's not easy to go back to Egypt. And then when he gets finally there, he's convinced he's going to get killed. In Surah Al-Shu'ara we learned. In Surah Al-Shu'ara he says, you know, إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَنْ يَقْتُلُونَ. I'm afraid they're going to kill me. That's a very legitimate fear that Musa alayhi salam has. And Allah says, no, trust me. Don't worry about it. Taken care of. Those 3 lessons of obeying Allah, being courageous, and trusting Allah, the entire Tarbiyyah program of that on the top of that mountain is what? One thing. Grab the snake. Just that. خُذْهَا وَلَا تَقَفْ سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيرَةَ الْأُولَى. Amazing, isn't it? That Allah does that. He teaches such amazing lessons in one statement. And now this messenger is ready. If he can pull that off, he can pull anything off. I mean, that at this point, Allah will take care of it. Allah will take care of my problem. You know? This is how